Grant Gustin, the man everybody knows as the Flash, has had some very good acting moments in his career, but not only in the Flash, in all of his other movies as well. So buckle in guys, because today we're going to look at the top 10 Grant Gustin acting moments all the way from when he was 16 years old to 33 years old now. Starting off with number 11, we can look at Grant Gustin's first ever acting debut. And before you guys comment, oh Kosho, it's the top 10, why is it number 11? I don't care, there has to be a number 11, okay? I don't care, I'm sorry, this has to be here. So number 11 on Grant Gustin's best acting moments happens in a horror show known as The Haunting. And we can look at the episode 2x5 20 minutes in. Putting this scene in number 11 just felt right to me because we can see where Grant Gustin first started out as an actor and where he's now ended up. And to be honest, looking at the scene itself, this right here as a first time actor isn't too bad of a scene, because as we all know, sometimes when people like first ever hop into the acting scene, they have like a super fake look, right? You can tell they just want to burst out laughing, you can tell they're not like being serious with what they're acting, but here you can kind of see that he's trying to act his best. I just don't know why they made him sound British, because what is this?
See, you don't have anything to worry about. You know you're safe here, and if you need to call me, you can.
I say you don't have nothing to worry about. You know you're safe here. You can call me if you can. You can call me if you can. Now moving on to number 10. Here we can see that Grant matures a little bit more. Fast forwarding a couple years down in his career, we can look at this scene in A Mother's Nightmare. And now here you can see how good Grant is at acting flustered, showing a lot of like genuine confusion, and overall his uncomfortableness in this scene shows off really well. And overall, looking at the scene, you can see the genuine potential this guy has, because so early on in his career, he has already become so natural at acting. This right here is so natural and fluid. Mwah. The reason I didn't rate the scene any higher is because like the quality of the scene itself isn't that good, and overall the scene is pretty short, and trust me when I say this guys, the scenes that are higher on this list easily top this scene, easily. Moving on to number 9. Here we can look 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 15 seconds into Rescued by Ruby. Grant Gustin actually acted in this movie last year, just a couple months ago. The reason this moment is on the list because it shows a side of acting that's very rare. Being able to act angry and furious without overdoing the whole angerness is a very genuine raw talent. If an actor can do this, they are very close to being able to act out what it's actually like to be frustrated or angry in real life. Because a lot of the times the anger we feel in real life isn't an anger that's like it's more of like a frustrated anger where you just wanna, you're pissed, but your body doesn't lash out. You kind of just feel it inside of you, so you're just like and here Grant Gustin does it perfectly. If you guys didn't know, this scene right here is when his dog Ruby goes missing and he's just feeling bad about himself. He's feeling down for himself because he's the one that actually lashed out on his dog, and that's why his dog ran away. So it's a very sad scene with context. Trust me, if you guys haven't seen the movie Rescued by Ruby, go watch the movie right now. It is very good. Go watch it. And if you have seen it, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. Also, don't you guys love that I'm adding scenes from other shows besides The Flash? Like, I'm actually adding other movies. Isn't that cool? Don't you guys like that? I'm so cool, aren't I? I'm so cool. Okay. But speaking of The Flash, number 8 is when Grant Gustin is playing The Flash and he turns emo. This happens in episode 3x19, and this was a very cool scene because we got to see Grant's whole demeanor shift. In The Flash, we've always known Grant Gustin to be like the happy hero, like The Flash, you know, he's always joyful, happy, hopeful, right? But here we saw a different side of him. We saw a side of him where his hope was shattered. The way he looks down in this scene, the way his body language completely changes, the way everything has been slowed down a little bit, it's beautiful. It's a little low on the list because overall I wasn't too impressed by the scene, but I knew it had to make the cut just because I love seeing Grant acting like these different varieties, these different ranges of emotion. Wow, beautiful. Number 7 is a scene we've talked about quite a few times, but I think it still deserves to be here, and this scene is another Flash scene, and it's when Flash returns from the Speed Force. This happens in episode 4x1, and it's actually such good acting. This is really one of the best moments in the entire show. Here, the crucial element that made this such a powerful acting scene by Grant Gustin is a combination of many things that involve body language and facial expressions. For example, the way he spins around, the way he falls on the floor, the facial expressions he makes when he talks to Joe. It all comes together along with all the great music, along with the great dialogue to make a really powerful, great scene.
I'm innocent. I didn't do this. I didn't kill anyone. Can you hear the stars singing? Rhyming, timing, every hour, every minute. You said the city was safe, that there was no residual danger, but that's not true.
And also, if you're wondering why I show you some of the scenes but I don't show you the others, it's because I want to show you the best ones, okay? The ones I really think need to be shown with audio, I'll let you guys watch them, okay? And trust me, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, why is that number 7? Why is that not way higher? Because it's clearly a very good scene, but I'm telling you guys, the stuff that is even higher on the list is so good. It's, see? Unsi kata tata unsi kata tata. My name is Jamaica. Tada tada unsi tada tada unsi. But moving on to number 6 now let's actually step away from the Flash. Now let's look at Grant Gustin in Glee. More specifically, when he does the performance Smooth Criminal. Now this next moment once again highlights how well Grant Gustin uses body language. Grant Gustin has two main specialties when it comes to acting. One being body language, and the second one we'll talk about a little bit later. But for now, just admire the way he moves across this gym. Just look at it. Just watch this beautiful art piece. And I can already smell the comments, some of you saying, oh, this doesn't deserve to be here. It's really not that impressive, blah, blah, blah. But you have to take everything into consideration. You have to consider that Grant here is lip syncing a song. He is making a serious facial expression going along singing a song. And on top of that, he's doing all of this in front of an entire camera crew. Do you know how awkward that would be in real life? I'm never doing that, ever. Imagine like walking around, you're lip syncing Smooth Criminal walking around seriously. Like in a stadium. Like bro, that is so crazy. And you don't have to look at only this Glee performance. You can look at any other performance of him in Glee. Heck, even look at his musicals in Flash. All of these things have one thing in common. He is very good at showing musical talent in acting. And to be honest guys, I'm kind of surprised that Grant hasn't come out with a song. I just feel like a song would be like the right direction for him. He loves singing, he's been in musical theaters all the time. So why not come out with a Grant Gustin song, you know? Like, I am the Flash, I am Barry, I am the Flash. Something cool. It doesn't have to be the Flash actually. I don't know why I said that. I just feel like singing is definitely the right move for him. Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, now let's move on to number 5. But now moving on to the top 5, let's go from a very happy scene and now let's go talk about jail. And not just any jail, let's talk about Barry Allen in jail with his dad. Truly another very impressive scene by Grant Gustin. Here what really struck me and stood out to me is that genuine emotion that comes out throughout this moment. This scene is not even close to me like looking at it and being like, oh, it's just two people acting. No, it really, like to me, it really feels like a genuine sad son. Sad because his dad is wrongfully stuck in jail. That is what I'm seeing right here. The way Barry looked at his dad in despair, the way at times he can't even hold up the phone because he's crying. Like, I think what really makes him stand out is him knowing all this stuff. Like a really great actor and a good actor, this is what separates them. Knowing what a real person would do in this situation. Because no one can teach Grant Gustin to cry so hard that like the phone comes down to his mouth and he's looking down at the phone. Like that is just genuine emotion and knowing how people act. Oh my god, watch the scene. Just watch the scene.
Now you're in here because of me, and I'm so sorry. Barry, this is not your fault. Look at me. I know what you've given up. Every decision you've made in the past 14 years has been because of me and your mom.
Now moving on to number 4, now we can look at another Flash scene, and this scene no one really talks about. I don't really know why, but this scene is very important and it's a very beautiful scene. Let's talk about the moment when Barry fights against the Speed Force in episode 6x7. Now here what really stands out to me is a different side of Grant Gustin, the side we don't see enough. Here we're introduced to the rage of Grant Gustin, the actual rage and anger he has within himself. Because I feel like typically Grant Gustin is used to doing scenes where he's kind of reserved, he's kind of calmed down, and like even in his heightened scenes like when his dad was in jail, he has to kind of like hold back himself, you know, he cries a little bit but he never like he never lashes out until now. Here we see what Grant looks like when he really reaches his breaking point. Everything is very intense and the way Barry plays his emotions out here once again just outshines everyone else that's there. Like if I didn't tell you guys who the main character was in the show and you guys watched the scene, you would be able to see, okay, this guy right here is the main character. His acting ability and just the aura around him is so much more powerful than the rest. Even his own mother was looking at him like, oh my god, okay, is that my son? Okay, damn. And I guess since we're like almost in the top 3, I'll let you watch this scene as well. Go ahead, watch the scene.
All those headstones, those people are dead because of my connection to you. How many times do I have to suffer for you? When is it your turn to suffer?
But now, before we move into the top 3, I want to make an announcement that I'm doing my first ever cash contest of $50. Oh my And the contest starts today. I'll keep this very short, but the contest will run for 2 weeks, and basically whichever one of you guys makes a TikTok with the most views using my videos will win the contest. Like maybe you saw one of my videos and you thought something I said was funny, maybe you thought something was relatable, so you take that little part, you cut it up nicely, you edit it nicely, make it look nice, and you post it on TikTok. That's it. Make the TikToks engaging, make them creative, all the good stuff, make them go viral, and you can make as many TikToks as you want. The only rule is in the caption below, just make sure you at me somewhere using my username Kosher Reacts, and that's it. That's all. That's it, guys. Good luck. Whoever has the most viewed TikTok within 2 weeks from now using any of my videos will win the contest. Okay? Okay, back to the video. Now moving on to number 3, let's talk about when Grant Gustin and Candace Payton fight. And no, I don't actually mean fight in real life, I meant when they fight in The Flash. This happens in episode 5x19, and we all know this infamous argument over Nora. And as most of you guys know, this clip is actually famous for hating on Iris's character, right? Everyone, including me, has used this clip to hate on Iris, but what people don't talk about as often is how good the acting is here. Just like number 4 on this list, we can see what Grant Gustin looks like lashing out. What stands out here the most is his tonality. Gustin's ability to raise his voice, crack his voice in some parts, go a little bit lower in some parts, gives the scene not an argumentative, threatening vibe, but a genuine heart-filled moment. Guys, really pay attention to what I'm saying. This isn't a argumentative, a combative, defensive argument. It's a genuine, heart-filled argument that you can see through Grant Gustin's acting. Grant isn't playing the argument in a super defensive combat way. Instead, he does it where he's talking with his emotions. Oh my. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful, babes. Oh my god. Grant Gustin, can you do something for me? Can you talk to Iris next for me? Grant Gustin, do your thing, Grant Gustin, do your thing. Do your thing, Grant. I'm sorry, guys. Just watch the video. Just watch the clip.
Knowing that it might be the last time I ever see her?
What about the last time that I get to see her, Barry? I didn't even get a chance to say goodbye.
Damn it, Iris, she lied to us for months!
And she explained why.
That she was working with Dawn?
Now guys, number 2 and number 1 are basically impossible to decide between, but I truly believe the second best moment of Grant Gustin's acting career is the night when Barry Allen's mother died. This right here is genuinely one of the saddest scenes in the entire Flash show. Also, easily the best sad scene from Grant Gustin. Remember when I said earlier Grant Gustin had 2 specialties when it comes to acting, one being body language? Well, the second one is his ability to break down when he's sad. Now you guys can give me whatever reason you might think why he's so good at being able to break down, whether you think he has a great crying face, whether you think he talks in a sad way when he's hurt, whether you just appreciate his body language when he's sad. Whatever reason you might put behind it, it's clearly working. It's magical and it's real.
Beautiful boy, yes.
I give it a second chance to come back here. To tell you that I'm okay. Dad and I are both okay. And we love you, Mom. I love you.
But now, before we move on to number 1, the best moment in Grant Gustin's acting career, let's look at one honorable mention. And this would have to be when Grant Gustin played Savitar in The Flash. Now, I know, I'm sorry for teasing you guys. I know you want to see number 1, but this is important too, okay? This was still a very good moment. Clearly, Tom Cavanagh rubbed off on him because Grant Gustin knows how to be a villain. Now, this might be odd, but the reason I think this scene is really good and one of the best acting moments in Grant's life is because he has great facial expressions as a villain. He knows how to assert himself as an evil person using his face. The way he looks at Barry with disgust, the way he moves around him, the way he uses sarcasm, it gives off the vibe of a villain that isn't like Zoom where he's like over threatening and dominant, but rather a chilling villain, you know? Like it gives us viewers the vibe where it's just like, oh, why is he so casual? Why is he just talking casually with us? It's the little details, guys. I'm telling you, it's the little details. It's the little ones. It's the little ones. But now, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at the number 1 Grant Gustin acting scene. And this scene, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you sure you're ready? You're good? Okay. This scene is when Barry Allen's father died. Guys, up until today, I generally didn't know what my favorite scene from Grant Gustin would be. I've always had like my favorite few, right? But I've never been put in a position where I have to pick just one. And I never knew what the one would be, but that all changed when I was doing research for this video and I stumbled across episode 2x22, where Zoom kills Barry Allen's father. And to be honest, I didn't realize how good Grant's acting was here until I rewatched it a couple times and saw what really made it good. The one main thing that stands out here is the the range of emotion Gustin goes through in this scene. Like, the clip first starts off when Zoom kidnaps Barry's father, and Barry Allen in this situation is hesitant. He's worried, he's shook, he's startled, he doesn't really know what to do, and he does a great job acting panicked, not knowing what's gonna happen next. But then as we progress more and more, we can see Gustin's acting go a little bit more aggressive. He's a little bit more panicky, he's a little bit more needy. He's like, please, please, take me instead, take me instead. You can see the frustration build up. But then it doesn't stop there. It gets closer and closer to what we all know is about to happen. And then, ladies and gentlemen, it happens.
No, it's gonna make you just like me.
Your mother and I love you.
Dad. Dad, hey, look at me. Dad, don't leave, not again. Dad, come on. Hey, it's all right. No, Dad.
I told you family was a weakness.